worldwide people around baseball. But I'm not alone. I am with my, I don't know if I can say friend or wife or anything, soulmate. I don't know. We do that, but I'm with Guillaume. How are you, Guillaume?
Hi, thank you, my host. I'm very happy to see you, and very happy to see not to see everybody, but to be there with you. We have a guest. Do you
No,
want to know?
first of all, before the guests, I think
Ah,
that we have, the dark passenger, the
yes.
one we don't see, but who is making everything for us. So, hi to Thomas, the producer. How are you, Thomas?
Hi.
Okay,
Hello.
that's the only word
I'm
in
fine,
English we're
thanks.
gonna have for him. And you must know something before the guest, Guillaume. We have to explain this. Um, the game we have with Guillaume, it's to make Thomas the more uncomfortable possible during this live.
that's it.
So that's why we are always asking him some questions in English, and we know he doesn't want to answer.
And
So-
he never knows. He never knows when we're going to ask him something. So that's more funny like this.
Yeah.
But
So,
we have
Thomas,
a
is
guest.
it okay for the guest?
Okay,
we don't hear
we
you.
can't hear you.
But
Okay,
say
that's
yes.
okay.
Okay.
So that must be okay.
Guillaume, introduce our guest, please.
Yes, we have a special guest today. It's Mr. McNabb.
Oh,
no, Guillaume, Mr. McNabb. He's the McNabb. He played for the Philadelphia Eagles. He cannot be with you because he played American football. No, that's not him. It's Mr. McNabb. Oh, yeah, it's Braden McNabb, Guillaume. We know him also. He was a hockey player and he plays actually for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I say, no, shut the fuck up. I'm with Kirk McNabb, who is a Canadian. I think you're Canadian?
Yes.
Kirk? Kirk is Canadian. He's with us, and we are going to talk baseball with us. So thank you to be here with us. Kirk, welcome.
Gentlemen, I love it. I love it. Yes. Yeah. Uncle Donovan played with the Eagles, and yeah, Braden McNabb actually same name as our youngest son actually was Braden McNabb too. So you made a bit of a joke about it, Guillaume, but he used to get hugged a lot when he was a kid.
And I think you're the most famous McNabb in baseball because there was nobody that played baseball who was named McNabb. So I'm
No major leaguer named McNabb in the history. We gotta check this. But Kirk,
I think so.
we're gonna check it because Kirk, I gotta tell you a little story. You know what? We were talking before you connected with us for the live. We were talking about who are you and everything. Thomas, who knows everything about baseball, was asking this for us, and he asked, "Is he American or Canadian?" And Guillaume said, "From the US, from the US." Then I searched you, and I saw Canadian, and now he goes for it. Say, "You're Canadian, right?" But he's such a liar. He's a liar.
Yeah,
He thought
but-
you were American, man.
Yeah, but can I say that you have an accent that is very strong, just like the Americans?
Yeah,
I do,
but
actually.
you didn't heard him before. He's such a liar. So, Kirk,
Yeah.
thanks for being with us. We are really happy to have you on this live. First of all, you made his introduction, but not with the manners, So, you're the coach of the Boucaniers of La Rochelle.
Yes, I am. Yeah, for the 2022 season. So down with the Division One team, working with them. Pascal and I got talking way last November, and kind of a combination of coaching, managing the Division One team, and then looking at helping organize coaches and player development across the whole club as well. So hopefully it'll be a long-term thing.
We had some great we heard some great things about you because we had Theo Lakmesh this week in the podcast,
And he wants to play. So
yeah, he wants
to
to
be
play.
in the
So
lineup.
he say things that are so great about you. No, he said that your approach when you arrive and you had a focus on eating and that helped him just be better. He said that there wasn't really a coach last year, and you to come and to have all these drills and things like this, it made him comfortable when he's at the plate. So can you what is your approach of coaching?
Geez, that's almost like a state secret, fellas. I almost got to shoot you if I tell you.
Shoot him. He's the one who asked. But I want the answer.
Okay.
Give me
Yeah,
the answer
no,
and shoot him.
I'll tell you what it is, fellas. I'll give away my age. I'm 52, and what I realized about 12 years ago, probably a little longer ago than that even as well, is that we don't focus enough on the mental side of sports and the mental side of the game. We do drills and we pound physical and whether it's drills or fitness or strengthening till the cows come home. And it's wrong. At a certain level, it's wrong, right? When you get to adult baseball, everybody can play that game. At whatever level you are, you're pretty much equal physically. It's the mental difference. And really, that's the hidden secret. That's the hidden sauce. So I've given them an approach and a plan of attack for every time they go to the dish. As far as the physical side of it goes, guys, I look at you as an individual. Yeah, Guillaume, you're a big, strong, strapping guy. I expect you to hit for a little bit of power or whatever and stuff like that. Mike, you're a little bit more fine, like myself, not as big and stocky as Guillaume or whatever and that. So I'm looking at you going, you know what? You're going to be hitting runs. You're going to be doing some get the ball on, let your wheels work for you, run. And that's what I think looking at you. But I don't say anything to you until I collect data on you. It's what we do with Dirtbag Baseball Nation. So that's the business that I own when I'm not doing the coaching of La Rochelle. And that's what we do. We collect data. So we watch you pitch, we watch you hit to see what you already do well. And then I make the corrections.
Is it only by...
Yeah.
Sorry. I just wanted to ask, you say, I watch you collect data. Are the data that you collect are only visual, or
Yes.
do you also collect some samples of statistics and everything?
No. I mean, I have connections back home in the States with Diamond Kinetics and data collection companies and Baseball Cloud, which is a huge business that's just simmering right under the level right now. They're taking off now. And for me, I'm kind of that generation where I like the new wave statistics and that, and I like reading them and stuff like that. But again, great question. You can look at that, but if you don't understand it, what the hell good is it? And I talk to those people all the time. I say, you've created something phenomenal. But just like this show, baseball people they want layman's terms. They want simple baseball terms. They don't want PhDs. I'm not going over a PhD. I just want to talk baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, but that shit overwhelms people. That stuff overwhelms people and stuff like that. So I break it down and really look at you as an individual, collect the data. Do your hands sit right? Do you have good balance on your lower half? Do you need correction? What do? You open stance, closed stance, whatever. But then it's more importantly, let's talk about the things that we can control. And that's actually hitting the ball hard. And learning to hit the ball hard, learning to walk away from a game. And hey, if I'm 0 for 4 in that game, yeah, I'm frustrated. Yeah, I'm disappointed. But maybe I barreled up 2 balls. So really, I was 500 for the day. Because the next game I go out there and I get 2 Texas leaguers. And yeah, I got on base. Yeah, we maybe won a game. But realistically, I was 0 for 4. I just got lucky and put 2 bloopers in there.
Yeah.
And so it's getting them to understand what's real and what is a box score.
I see what you mean.
You were talking. You were talking about the impression you have on the physical abilities of the players you see before they play. Just to tell you, I have no wheels, only on the chair. That's the most I'm gonna have. And
the fastest I go to the first base is if you roll me.
Yes.
That's it.
Voilà. And Guillaume is more big than stocky. That's another thing too. But
he's jealous because he wanted to be the stocky one.
No. I'm not, and I know it. But my question is, do you often make the good appreciation just by seeing the physical abilities of the players at the first look, or do you correct it every time?
No, we do it inch by inch. really in that, because again, now I know if I come into you first, let's look at it this way, fellas. When I get to meet you, or whether it's in France, whether it's in Canada, the States, wherever I'm training, or my sons and I are training, this is how it works. Right now, I always have it like this, right? We don't really know each other. We're building a relationship. So I totally respect it. What's this guy going to be about? What's he going to talk about? Is he a horse's butt, or is he a good guy? And I'm doing the same with you guys. But by God, by the time I'm done, I want you to always to know that I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to be honest, whether it's easy or not. And we're going to go inch by inch by inch by inch, and we're going to finish here. That's my goal, is to get there and finish with that. So I don't know if that's my phone or... Sorry,
I think it's your phone. I think it's your partner telling you not to give all the secrets of the empire you're building.
That's what I said. And now I'm going to get shot.
Yeah, that's the target. That's the bomb.
So,
you have 15 minutes to leave the house.
And so that's a great question, Mike, because most coaches, they dive right in, right? They're like, oh my God, I'm getting paid, or I'm getting this, or I'm getting that. I got all these eyes on me. I got to look really, really smart. And Mike, you got to do this and this and this. You got to do this and this and this. Oh my God, he must be really smart. No, he just knows how to talk. Because you don't know if it's going to make you better. I know what the pros do. And there's certain little things that you have to do with your hands that I talk to players about. And there's certain little things to do with the lower half, the feet right into the foundation. The rest comes from the mental approach. And again, like you said, you know whether you're taking a big boy cut, real swing, or you're just being lazy and hoping to hit a ball. Oh, geez, if I hit a ball, everybody's going to clap. Well, it still sucks when you're older because they can catch the ball and field it and get you out.
Yeah.
When you're 9 years old and they can't field it, that's a different story, right? Hey, geez, he got a bunch of hits. No, he didn't. Be honest with him.
Good.
Be honest with him.
You were talking about back in the days. I think with Guillaume, we went straight forward in the technicalities and the tacticals and everything. But
that's because we are very technically. We are just irreproachable.
You guys are. I was over here in 1993 in Savigny when I was done college and first married to my wife, which don't make any smart ass comments because I'm still married to her. So I knew something was going to come. She's actually going to be over here in July. So I'm lucky. But we came over in 1993.
You're lucky that they are not here, that she's not here right now, or that she's going to come?
She's going to come. She's going to come.
Okay. No, just to be sure.
Yeah. So and that was Savigny-sur-Orge. And I'm not being mean. I'm not trying to do this. No, I'm disappointed for French baseball because when I came back and sent my kids here in 2017 to coach and play with Guillaume Coste up there in Savigny with the Lions, I stayed in touch with them forever. When I was here, a foreign player pitched one game and a French kid pitched one game. That's the way it was. And when they got rid of that, I know they go the European rules. Well, you know what? It's the French baseball league. It's not the Canadian baseball league. It's not the Venezuelan or the U.S. or anything else. So I don't care if the game it ends up being 20-19 because the French pitcher can't pitch yet. The only way you're going to get better is to have those guys on the mound pitching and throwing and learning how to do it.
Yeah, but you know also why they changed the rule. It's because they wanted the baseball in France to be more competitive and to have the hitters to be able to face pitchers that are, let me say it like this, real pitchers. That's it. It was just to increase the level. But I totally. I mean, the problem is it's difficult just to make to have the good balance. Whether you want to have good pitching to have the hitters face it, or if you want to raise the level of your pitchers by having them play more and more and more, but getting just taken aback by the hitters. You see what I mean?
I 100% agree. I've talked to Nicholas Antoine, for example, on my team all the time, and I said, like, he's going to pitch. I don't care if I lose games. That sounds crazy. I don't care because that kid needs to pitch to get better because your national team goes and they get destroyed, not because of the players, because the pitchers, unfortunately, aren't good enough and they get destroyed. Well, they've been doing the poll and everything else for, and I'm probably going to get hated for this, and that's not my intent. I'm just trying to be honest. They've been doing that stuff for 30 plus years. Something's wrong. And you hit the nail on the head, Guillaume, because, and Mike as well. You guys do so many drills that are idiotic. Get out there and throw a baseball. Get out there and try to hit the cover off a baseball. Tiger Woods' dad put a golf ball in front of him and said, grip and rip. And then you learn, oh, you know what? I'm swinging so hard that I'm pulling my head off. I'm not seeing the ball. Well, then, okay, make the adjustment, start seeing the ball. You know what? I need to learn how to go from my hand with this ball 60 feet 6 inches every single time to the best of my ability. Not as hard as I can. No. To the best of my ability. And then I show them how to do
Mike,
that.
Mike, we have our first comment on the chat.
Oh,
Yes.
We have
what did he say?
Laurent who plays with Montigny Cougars. And Laurent says, I love Kirk's approach of the game. 3 things to win, play good catch, put the ball in play, hustle, and fight to win. And Laurent says, I pitched my best game in February after 4 months off, just with a great talk with my coach prior to the game.
That's good to know. Congratulations.
Congrats, Laurent.
So are you here in France? Are you on a crusade?
Am I on a crusade?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really am.
I mean, I'm joking. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. You see what I mean?
No,
I think that having someone like you that know about baseball, that come from a different horizon, and that can come and bring all that he knows and put it in the French baseball. I mean, that's great, because this is just like some wind that need to blow over the French baseball. So my question is really that. Are you on a crusade?
Guillaume, can I connect your question with another point we
go ahead, this is your show.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy that you let me do what I want. I think it's connected, because you said that we don't have enough French players that are, we're gonna say, the franchise players in the French clubs, okay? But do you think it's a good or it's a bad thing that every young players go to play to college? Is it good or not? Is it good and it's well done, or is it a good thing but it's not properly done so far? What do you think? Because I think it's connected. We don't have the best French players in the championship because they are not playing in France.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, okay, I see where you're coming from on that one, Mike, and that's a dual-edged sword, right? So okay, Guillaume first. Yes, I'm on a crusade. Like I said, that's why I said in 1993 I was here. I loved it, and it was my first experience with Europe. My wife as well. She's an elementary school teacher, so she has about 5 years left. We want to retire in Europe. I said I can watch MLB wherever I am in the world, but I said I can't just go for hikes in the mountains like she likes to do. I said I got to be around baseball, because that's what I am at the end of the day. I'm a baseball guy, and I want to pay it forward. I don't care, and that's why we call it Dirtbag Baseball Nation. One, you're a dirtbag. You're the best player on the field. You work your off, but you're the first one to look yourself in the mirror and say, I got to be better. I got to be better to help this team. So that's what I want to create. 2, nation, because it's another word for world. So I don't care where you are. If you love this game of baseball, whether it's like your guys spin on it or you want to become a professional, I'm all in on you. I'm all in. You want to be a part of it? Come on, call me and we'll get going and we'll get after it. So on a crusade, yes, I am, because we're planning on retiring here. La Rochelle is a perfect climate because I can almost stay here and train year round. I can run clinics for the younger kids. We can do all kinds of development programs, and that's my intent. That's another story for another day, because I got to work on some angles in that. But again, my network back home, I've got products and stuff like that I can bring over. I already have started bringing it over for my own players here with the Boucaniers. So I want the best French kids in the country. I want the best French kids in the country to come to La Rochelle and play. I don't care if I have one import. I'll take them. To your question, Mike, you have to go to university because you have to have that experience. You have to feel it. If you're good enough, go feel it. Does it suck for the Challenge de France? 100%. Is it fixable? 100%, because it's a baseball league. For Christ's sakes, change the date until they're done with college. You know what? Yeah, you can play in the European League. You're part of the European thing. But for the love of God, if it's got to be July, make it July. Who cares? Change the dates. For the love of God, use some common sense.
Yeah, I think you're right, because one of the key points of this question is, it's the universities, the college in the US that have to adapt to a European market, or does it the European market that has to adapt to the country of baseball? That's all I'm saying.
Your answer is directly in the question that you cannot ask.
That's not my type. I'm sorry.
He was trying to pass the loaded gun over to me. Hey, I'll tell you, fellas, basketball and football in the NCAA, as you guys know, just finally got the individual players to get their own thing. They ain't changing. NCAA is a juggernaut of money that you can't even begin to fathom. You can't even fathom it. And I mean, I played it back in the day. I went and, I'm near Toronto in Canada where I live, or where home is, but I played Division II baseball down in Pennsylvania when back from 89 to 92. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I would not change it. You got to do it. If you love this game of baseball, what an experience. It's such a cool experience. You've got your lifelong friends. We still stay in touch with them. My final year, 1992, we lost in the championship game of the Division II World Series to the University of Tampa. You can't forecast that. You cannot forecast that. Everything that could go right went right. So those are bonuses, but lifelong memories. Set the table to who I am and where I am today. And it started the process of actually thinking about the mental and why we have to start teaching the mental side of the game. Because I'll tell you, back to was it Laurent from Montagny that wrote in?
Yeah.
If you're still watching, Laurent, back to your comment. I can tear apart every program in this country. And I can look at it and I can know where we can beat them, even though we're not a great team. We're building to be a great team. I can make our guys look great because I know what their strengths are without even seeing them, and I know what their weaknesses are. So I can build that hitting philosophy around that because I've done it for years with different programs, and I know the success behind it. And Teo, to my point, you're right. He batted maybe just under 200 last year. He was panicking. He was worried in the offseason when I talked to him. Right now, he's sitting 4 and change. Now, he's not going to hit over 400. He's going to be down in the 300. That's going to all even out. But I'll tell you what, when he goes to the plate, he's excited to play the game now because he has a plan. And he knows it works because he's seen it already.
You know what, Kirk? I'm going to tell you something, just a little insider. When Pascal was on the show, it was a few weeks ago, because normally we wanted to have you on the show, but as you're not a great French speaker, we are
not great French speakers.
We are not great French speakers, but we're even worse in English. But that's something else. But we had Pascal on the show just to explain to us what was the goal for the season, how was last season, what were the change during the off season, and we did this with all the clubs of the elite of the Division 1 in France, except one. Mm-hmm. We say hi to the Puc.
Thank you to Thank you.
And Pascal told us, when we say what are your goals, not only for next year but for the years to come, he say, okay, I want in 5 years to be able to win the championship. And we said, wow, that's ballsy to say something like this, because there are great clubs in front of you. You know that you're not one of the best, you're in the middle, but there is a step to overcome to become
Absolutely.
this club that you want. But now that I speak with you, I understand where comes
This confidence.
his confidence. I mean, to have somebody like you, just speaking with you like this. I mean, if you had been my coach, I could have been to war with you. I'm sure.
Not good, but to war.
No,
Because I've seen him play, and I was
No,
his
but-
coach a little bit, and I was the kind of coach, what you said, the coach that speaks well. That's my type of coach. I don't know anything, but I speak well.
You
No,
know, you
but
know, you know it. There's not.
yeah,
It's
I
not
know, Guillaume.
always on the technical side. It's
Kirk,
not
you
always
have a
on the
vision.
physical side.
You have a vision.
You have
And
a vision.
that's something that we are lacking in France, in French baseball. We have people that are here because they played so much time, because they are well known and everything. You come here with a vision. You said it. You and your players have a plan. I'm not sure every French team have this kind of philosophy. You have a vision, and I think that's what Guillaume wants to say. That's what matters. You have a vision.
I appreciate it, guys, for sure. I mean, we got a tough 2 games. I mean, our whole season comes down to this weekend, right? We got Montpellier, and we're sitting at 4-2. They're at them and Senard are at what, 6-2. But we split with both of them, and La Rochelle's never done that before. So I just told the boys this morning. I said, if you think Montpellier is coming in here and rolling over, they're coming to win 2 games. I said, make no mistake about it. We got their attention now. They're like, hey, what's happening down there in La Rochelle? Big boys are running.
That's exactly what we say to Theo when he was this week on the show. I said, well, that's great because you played at Senard, you played at Montpellier, and you split the games with them there. So now when they're going to come
That's
with you
a statement.
yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, that's just saying we're here. And now just don't overlook us, count on us, because now you know what we can do to you. And that's only the beginning.
And that's a big warning. The warning is don't make mistakes.
Yes.
Because we're going to be here to collect. So that's what you're doing with La Rochelle. And
appreciate
we have to explain to Kirk. In the podcast, Guillaume is the host, okay? He is the one, he's the host. And I'm always the one who's cutting him when he's speaking. That's my role, okay?
Okay, that's
So
okay. Now he understands. Okay, let me ask
you understand. I'm the host. He's cutting me. Okay, let's go.
It was good just to speak with you technically and everything and your vision, but I wanted to know, you said you were in France in '93 and now you came back. How do you think has grown the French baseball? Is it better now than it was in '93 from your point of view?
Yeah, and I'll go back to it again, Guillaume. Players are better, pitchers are not.
Okay,
it's that simple. I'm devastated, and I was quite open with the players on my team. And again, I said, I don't want you to hate me. You can hate me if you want. I'm just being honest. I'm just, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to be honest. If you want to become the best player that you can become, you're looking at the guy that's going to tell you the truth. Because at the end of the day, when I tell you the truth, or Guillaume or Mike or Thomas or whoever, I can sleep fine that night. You may hate me, but I can sleep because I'm the only guy that told you the truth. And that's the other problem around the world. People want to be best friends. They'll talk to each other about the truth, but they won't talk to the person. Say, hey, you know what? You don't work hard enough. Here's an example. Our team, let's be honest. I'm sitting at 12 players. I know Senard and Montpellier in our division or whatever are out of the teams to beat. So we've done that. If we get to the playoffs, yeah, that's great. And I'm excited. For sure, I'm excited. Everybody wants to win. But the reality is, we're one injury away from being a disaster because I don't have the depth. So if you're a French player out there, again, if you're a French player out there, you come and play for me. I'm asking you to come to play for me because I'm going to teach you everything that I can in my power, whether you're a pitcher, a hitter, or whatever you are. And by God, we're going to have a lot of fun too, because that's the other part. Just like you guys are having fun, this needs to be in the game. There's 3 things for me, fellas. It's an ace mindset. So A, say, A égale attitude. Say égale commitment. Égale effort. Every one of us on the face of this earth control those three controllables in our life on the field and off. With our marriage, with our families, with our kids, with our friends, with our baseball teammates. You control those. I can teach you how to play baseball.
Guillaume, I don't think this message was directed to us because we are not, we can't even call us ball players, okay?
But
I want to play for La Rochelle. I want to play for La Rochelle.
He nearly
Is that
convincing
true?
me
You
to
don't have
come
any money.
live in La Rochelle, but sure you don't want us to come.
Guys, I'll tell you what, I do want you to come because this is part of the crusade, you know. It's guys like you. It's guys like Thomas. It's guys like Didier Cagnon with Baseball TV France. We need that. God, the French league doesn't appreciate people like that enough. For you guys to have that type of stuff, that is awesome.
Right.
I am so impressed. I am so impressed and so proud of you guys as a baseball person. I love it. And you guys are coming back on my podcast. I don't care. For sure, baseball talk. I'll get on and we'll have some fun with it. But guys, this part of it is as valuable as what I'm doing to the development of French baseball in general. So by God, you want to get after it? Let's get after it. I played against Stephane Lafarge, for God's sakes, 30 years ago. I've known Steph forever. And I talked to Boris the other week. All I can do is offer my services. If they don't want it, that's up to them.
Thank you very much for all you say. That's it goes right to our heart. I have one last question concerning everything that we've talked. You say that the French pitchers are not good. Okay, I understand. I totally agree. I totally agree with you. But you need to have French pitchers in your team because you are going to, if you want to follow your plan, you're going to need to have French pitchers. But now you need just to, it's not recruit, it's create those players. So is that at this moment that your work with the youngest is going to take form, and from now you're going to model the players that you want? How are you going to do this?
And that's really challenging because you don't play enough baseball at the youth levels in France. That's a challenge. There's not near enough baseball being played at the youth level. That's the hard and simple truth. I can teach them the drills, but you guys know if you're not out playing every week, it doesn't matter. They disappear for 3 weeks, so they don't have games for a month. Are you kidding me? For the love of God, why would you even like baseball? I'll go and play soccer. I never played the game in my life. But I'm sure they got to play more games. Now, in fairness, I get where we are down in Nouvelle-Aquitaine, for example. It's a long distance to play those games. Yeah. But let's start communicating as a region, as a league in that area. Let's start the conversation and say, hey, is there a way to have tournaments every weekend or once a month in a different location, or 2 tournaments if there's enough teams at an age group? La Rochelle is going to host 4 teams, okay? Bordeaux is going to host 4 teams, whatever it is. Same up in your area in that. And that's what they have to start doing, right? Because I can teach them the foundation and the fundamentals and do a poll just like everybody else does.
I think this is another key point, because I think the thing that changed the most between your 2 French experience, for me, it's the ballparks. I mean, they created some ballparks with the ability, the capacity to host some European competition. That's the thing we didn't had 30 years ago. But on the players, we've seen it from the first Division 2. I think for me, they made a mistake by enlarging the number of teams in the division. They would be better to have less team, but better teams with a level quite similar, and then to make them play a lot more. I mean, who cares if you have 10 Rouen Sénart or La Rochelle Montpellier in a season? because it's gonna be good games. It's better than have two La Rochelle Montpellier and then they don't mind.
Don't say.
I'm
don't
not gonna
say-
say Puc La Rochelle or Nice La Rochelle because they're friends, but I don't give a shit. That's my show. I do whatever I want. So that's why. So that's the key
Hey,
point.
we're going to need those other 6 runs or 7 runs that they stole from us by that walk away. And that's another stupid thing, too. Again, I'm shooting myself in the foot with the Federation, but I'm really not trying to. But for the love of God, they walked away. We were up 16-0 or whatever it was. 2 tough titties on you. I want the 16 because let's say we do split against Montpellier this weekend. We split against Sennar on July 3rd, and they split each other. We're all tied together. It's going to come down to runs for and against. Then if I lose out on playoffs because of that, I'm going to be some pissed.
I have one last question before heading to the end of the show. We could do that for hours, so I'm gonna be the reasonable guy and put an end of it. But do you think you will be able? Do you think there is some place for you to rethink some of the French structure in baseball? I mean, not only La Rochelle, but the federation, the rules, the championships, the French national team, and everything. Do you want it, first of all? And then do you think that it has some room for you?
You know what? Like I said, I'm a baseball guy at the end of the day. It's as simple as that. So if they want me to help out in any way, shape, or form, and I told the guys that, I am more than happy to. I'm more than happy to, because I'd love to be here the day that you get a French player drafted to the MLB.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be
we
great.
will love that because it's
I
gonna
would
give
like to be here
us
that
some
day.
free tickets.
The last thing that I will say is that if you present yourself to an election or everything, I swear I will vote for you.
If you want to be the mayor of my city, I'm gonna vote for you.
If you want to be a teacher in my college, I'm vote for you for everything. Don't worry, you have my vote. Whatever.
I thank you very much, guys. Yeah. Now, and that's all it is. It's just you guys are being honest about your angle and your view of the game of baseball around the globe, but also within your country. You love your country, and God bless you. You should. And that's what it comes down to, guys. I'm the same thing. I'm going to be honest. Again, like I said, it's not about this. I'm not. People might think that it's not. It's about we only get one chance to live. Let's live it to the fullest. I'm so lucky that my wife allows me to do what I do, and that's baseball.
And that's where I think, Mike, the spirit in which we made our podcast and how we make our show, we are going the same way as you, is because we don't care what the people can think of us. Maybe it will be good, maybe it will be bad, but we will say what we want, and nobody will shut us up, because we have things. No,
we are not affiliated to anybody. We are free, so that's what allows us to. I don't know if you've seen it, but in the French division finals, we made the pre-show, the talk show before the game in underwears, because we decided to. Okay, we thought it was a good idea, eating hot dogs. We made it. No, because that's it. I mean, we have our vision of baseball. We allow us to speak about MLB almost every week and giving some advice. Some advice. No,
some insights.
Some insights.
Insights.
Insights, because insides we don't have anything.
We don't have any insights.
So that's why we were really happy to have you. Really happy to hear what you said about us, and just we're gonna say it all over again before the end of this show. Thank you for being here, and keep up the work, because maybe one day it's gonna be a professional division, Guillaume. Who knows? Like Italy or Netherlands, and we're gonna have to broadcast all the games in all French national division.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Man. That's keep having a goal, guys. Keep having a goal. Like I said to my son Nolan, that we do the Dirtbag Baseball Talk podcast with. If we change one person every episode, that's successful. And now we're on a network that goes out to 2 million people a week or whatever. And I obviously am excited and care about the 2 million people, but they may be baseball. There might only be 10,000 people that are listening or whatever. And I don't care. I want to change one person.
That's great.
That's what we are making it.
And you guys are there too.
On
Love
this good philosophy, Thomas, are you ready to just give us the music of the Bruce Bochy show?
The Bruce Bochy show now.
Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy.
You don't see Kirk, but they have a music really good. But because Thomas is not a good producer, we don't have this.
Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy.
Yeah.
We are on air. Okay, so we were just explaining to Kirk that we have a beautiful music made by DJ Guillaume with no rights. I mean, this, like we said, this video will not be, comment on dit monetizable. We don't have any money.
We won't get money.
We don't have any rights on this music, but we don't give a fuck. So, Kirk, it's Bruce Bochy show time. Do you know what it's the Bruce Bochy show?
I know a little bit about it, fellas, so go ahead.
So Bruce Bochy is an adventure we started 2 years ago, Guillaume, just by saying we have to get something every week to talk about would be interesting. And what would it? That's the voice of Guillaume.
Why do you speak like this?
That's the voice of Guillaume. Yeah, I'm an asshole. And we figured it out. Bruce Bochy must be the French manager of the French national baseball team. So we want to have him in the show. Why not? Yeah, we know that it's not going to happen. But we have a tradition. That's tradition, Guillaume.
Yeah, that's a tradition.
Yeah. We always ask our guests, no matter what guest it is, how can he help us to get Bruce Bochy?
Just before you answer, you have to know one thing, that it's not, the result is not important.
Yes, we don't reward the result.
What
we reward
matters
the intention.
is the intention.
It's the will to get it.
The intention of getting Bruce Bochy. I know you got the big Bruce Bochy book that he wrote there this year, or whatever, and that's a good question. You never know.
You know what?
I can't even give you an answer, but this is what I can give you, fellas. And I got some connections. I got some connections that I'm going to reach out to. I got some connections that I'm going to reach out to, because I'll tell you, the unique thing about professionals is if they know what we were talking about before, if they know that you're legitimate and really have a purpose to something, whether it's on the comical side or the serious, whatever it is, more times than not, they will come through for you. So I'm gonna use my resources and see. That's all I can promise. I'm gonna use my resources back in the States and see what I might be able to possibly do, and at least get the Coup Sur out to Bruce Bochy.
Don't say that's all I can do. That's gigantic for us. It's enormous. You gotta understand. And you get to know too that I can count on my hand, and we have more than how many episodes do we have, Guillaume? 100? No?
109. We recording the 109th.
More than 100 episodes, and we had guests almost one episode of one episode of two, something like that. So more than 50 guests, and now I can count on my hand the number of people that add results. So that's why you need to understand, we reward the intention.
Yes.
So Guillaume,
yes,
can we go to the last part of the show?
It's bullshit.
The best one, the one you love, the one you prepared, the one you take so much time to be ready. It's bullshit time.
Because we never said enough bullshit, so we're gonna say some more. So it's bullshit time.
Okay.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you
C'est bon, la musique est partie?
The fuck is with this guy? Who is he?
We're on air.
We're on air, Thomas. It's okay for bullshit time. So just quick story. We were talking about the way we're gonna want to manage the episode before, and I asked Guillaume like every time we do the live or like every time we do the podcast. So it's a weekly question. Guillaume, do you have
Yes.
anything for the bullshit time?
No.
No. Why? Because I don't give a fuck. That's
Exactly.
why. That's exactly the thing. And the thing is, I don't have to do anything because
Yes.
Mike has so much bullshit in his head. He's gonna find something.
And that's why I chose you to make the show
Yeah.
with me.
And you know what? You're
No?
right. I have bullshit. I have some bullshit questions. So it's gonna be. If you didn't have fun from the beginning of this show, Kirk, you're gonna have right now. And I'm gonna say that we are gonna have fun because I have several questions for you. We need to make the La Rochelle team, the players of La Rochelle, most known in France. Okay, we need to do this. So we're gonna have several questions, and you're gonna have to pick, okay, in your roster to say who is this and who is that. Okay, so who is the fastest player of La Rochelle?
Forrest Crawford.
Okay, who is not the fastest? The contrary.
On Division 1, Jorge Suazo probably.
Okay, you're seeing the way we're gonna handle the bullshit time.
I'm wondering if I should be answering honestly or because I'm screwed Sunday. It's going to be a long day at the yard Sunday, you buggers.
Yeah, and you only had one question. Guillaume, do you have one or do I proceed?
No. I leave you totally completely on this one.
Yeah.
I just retire
Yeah.
myself.
Just like every week. Who pitch better in your team? Who's the better pitcher?
Wilson Nieves, for sure.
Who's the baddest? Who's the baddest? You can say Pascal, the president. Who's the baddest?
Who was the best pitcher?
The
The
baddest.
worst.
The worst. The worst.
The worst. He
worst.
doesn't know.
Oh, the worst pitcher. Holy Jesus. Guillaume Mataffa.
That's a great answer.
I can't answer that one, fellas.
I can tell you who is the worst pitcher on the show, and I'm sure it's me.
We never see Guillaume. We've never seen Thomas pitch.
No, but I'm sure.
And
I'm
the
worse.
way he handled his hand to produce, he might be a really bad pitcher. But Kirk, one more question. Who's the one that eats too much? You have one. He's always eating, always.
God, you know what? We really don't. With having Teo Lekmesh on the team, I'll tell you, that guy's a tyrant, man, when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah.
He is a bugger. You might actually, Teo probably is that guy, but it's not bad food. It's always good food. That
So
guy-
what should you do with Theo? Should you keep him catcher and play and eat well, or should you put him in DH just to stop catching and eat? What is the best way?
We got now that we're on Teo actually, and I like, boy, he's going to be a brand new father any day soon now, as you guys know. So you're making light of the catching question. Now you got me panicking for Sunday. This morning at practice, I said, should we be calling up kids to the team? Because I said, all I can see is us playing Montpellier on Sunday, and all of a sudden the phone rang and Teo, I'm in labor, and he's gone.
Okay, so Kirk, we're gonna extract you from this bad position, and we're gonna talk more about Nolan and Braden. the So Nolan is your son, right?
Yes, yeah,
And Braden?
yeah,
Braden is your son too?
yeah.
Okay, so it's a family business. So we're gonna enjoy this. You have Nolan and Braden. Okay. You know it's gonna be hard.
I think
Who-
it's going to be worse.
Is that Nolan or Braden you put in the 9th inning to close the game?
Nolan for sure. Nolan for sure. Yeah.
Okay, because
He's
Braden
he's-
is so bad.
I'm a lover, fellas. I'm a lover. You're not getting me down that pipe hole. No, I'll tell you, being Canadian, this is where it goes full circle on the hockey background,
Okay.
on the ice hockey. So Braden has more of a hockey mentality. He just gets fired up and gets going. He's more like me, animated. Nolan, he's that methodical. He is that everything we talked about on this show. He can break it down in his head. He can digest it. He knows how to work it and that.
So
yeah.
I'm gonna translate. Nolan is the smart one, and
That's horrible. You're a monster.
Yeah. Nolan is Guillaume and Braden is you, Mike.
That's a great answer. I think we're gonna end the bullshit time on this.
Yeah, I
Yo,
think
what do
it's
you
better
think?
if we end like this. Thank you very much. It was very good. Mike, it's your turn normally.
No, I just want to hear you if you had something interesting to say. So no, it's the answer. So I'm gonna keep it. Thank you. First of all, thank you to the Boucaniers of La Rochelle and Pascal and everyone that made this possible, because they allow us. So that's a great thing. We always want to thank the clubs. Thank you, Kirk, for your presence and your vision and everything you said, and your lover attitude, and we're gonna have some bullshit things to ask you more. More. Thank you, Thomas, for the production. Thank you, Guillaume, for the calls. Thanks everybody who was seeing this show, and see you next month with a great episode and some good guests too. See ya.
See ya.
God bless you, fellas. Great stuff. Yeah.